the truth. Now is the time for tolerance. Now is the time for love. Now is the time for unbridled idealism. Now is the time to believe that we can accomplish great things beyond the accepted realm of possibility. Now is the time to elect a leader that will lead us into a future of prosperity, peace, and progressive change. Now is the time to dream big. Now is the time for Bernie Sanders.
A man that used to be president 8 years from now. When she ran for Congress, she said she had 2 goddamn guns under her bed. She was sleeping on top of guns. I mean, does anyone seriously think that Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders wants people with machine guns running around the inner cities? No, it's ridiculous. Shut up about that. Leave it alone. The only good thing that came out of that was the Violence Against Women Act. She would have voted for the goddamn thing too. So put it to bed, don't talk about it. Hillary, stop. Stop. Don't do it anymore. It's red herring. You shot ducks. All right. Listen. I think she probably, like, when Goldman Sachs, they're not going to ask Bernie to speak there, right? I mean, let's face it. Uh-oh. I got to wrap up. All right. So I think I'll just say this. You know, I know about family values. I think it's an issue that's, you know what Bernie Sanders wants? He wants to raise the amount of money that people on Social Security and disability get. He wants that money to come up. She wants to give us all health care. He wants to give us all health care. And he wants us to take a vacation, and that's a vacation, yes, 10 days. Who wouldn't want that? All right, so vote for him. Because when he goes to the White House, that's going to be... Yes, exactly. All right, now it's my honor to introduce and to call up here just an amazing fighter for racial justice and human rights and just won't give up, fights all the way, a Bernie supporter just like Bernie supporters are, the human rights activist, Linda Sarsour. Come on up, we love her, give her huge.
What up, New York City? That's what I'm talking about. I am so honored and humbled to be up here in the city that I was born and raised in. I am a proud New Yorker through and through, born and raised in Brooklyn like our Senator Bernie Sanders. said it's very simple.
And the most important bone of them all, the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious bone, is the backbone, because the backbone will keep us standing through all of our trials and our tribulations. And sisters and brothers, in this life, we gonna go through some stuff, but we can't have a testimony without a test. And we are being tested about whether or not we have heart enough, strength enough, soul enough, humanity enough to stand up and to do.
There's only one candidate running who's gonna fight corporate greed, who's gonna fight for the middle class, who's gonna make sure that the working class keep jobs in the United States, that they're not going overseas. There's a lot of candidates running for office, brothers and sisters, who actually cause strikes. There's only one who marches on picket lines, and that's Senator Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders today marched on picket lines with my members. The last time we had a strike, Senator Bernie Sanders marched on picket lines with my members then. Senator Bernie Sanders is for the middle class.
Too many people have died already because of the policies of some of the people who are running. Do we reward that with the White House? Is that the message that we're telling our children and spreading around the world? That I'm sorry suddenly brings lives back and makes it okay for our vets? Is that the story we're going to be telling in 20 years when our kids look at us and go, this was an opportunity we had in front of us and we voted for the same? The status quo?
Is real change, is
to really make history. If we win here, if we beat Secretary Clinton, are we going to win? Everybody here knows that this campaign is not just about electing a president, it is about transforming America. It is about making it clear from coast to coast, and I've been all over this country. The American people are tired of the same old establishment politics and establishment economics. They are tired of a government that is dominated by wealthy campaign contributors. They are tired of an economy where almost all new income and wealth goes to the top 1%. They are tired of a corrupt campaign finance system in which billionaires are buying elections. And they are tired of a broken criminal justice system which has more people in jail than any other country on earth. And we're going to end that. All right? We're going to invest in our young people in jobs and education, not jails and incarceration. We have come a very long way in the last 11 months. But we can win this thing. There is a path toward the White House, and don't let anybody tell you there is not. Our goal, and we're beginning to see this, is to see people from across this country stand up and fight back. I don't have to tell anybody in this beautiful theater tonight that the history of change, real change in America, never occurs from the top on down. It always happens from the bottom on up. Whether it is the history of the trade union movement, whether it is history of the civil rights movement, the history of the women's movement, the gay movement, the Fight for 15 movement. Just think, If we were here 5 years ago when somebody said, you know, Bernie, this $7.25 minimum wage is a disaster, it's a starvation wage, and we've got to raise it to 15 bucks an hour, the person next to them would have said, 15 bucks an hour? You're nuts. You're thinking too big, you're too radical, can't be done. But then you know what happened? People in the fast food industry fought back. People at McDonald's and Burger King, they made it clear they can't live on 15 bucks an hour. They went out on strike, they went out on the streets, and I'm very proud to have demonstrated with them in Washington, D.C. And then, because they fought back, Seattle, 15 bucks an hour, LA, San Francisco, Oregon, California, New York State. And trust me, it wasn't because your governor had a great idea that he wanted to do it. It's because the people told him he had better do it. And that's what this campaign is about, is bringing people together, black and white, and Latino and Asian American and Native American, all of our people, to stand together, to think outside of the box, to understand what the media does not tell us. Status quo does not have to continue to exist. We can make that change. We don't need to have the highest rate of childhood poverty of any major country on earth. We do not need to see 1 in 4 kids in the Bronx have asthma because of the crap that they are breathing. We do not need to continue to see gentrification, which is driving working people out of the neighborhoods. We do not need to have more people in jail than any other country. We do not need to be the only major country on earth that does not guarantee health care or paid family leave for all of its people. So don't let anybody tell you that our options are this narrow, to think small. We don't have to think small. This is the wealthiest country in the history of the world. And when we stand together, we can make profound changes. That is what this campaign is about. And I want to thank all of you for being here. Let me thank Erica for doing Erica went through a nightmarish experience, an experience that no child should have to go through. And you can respond to that tragedy in one of 2 ways. You could become depressed, you can become withdrawn. 90-year-old, how are you? Thank you. I see where Erica gets her energy from. And her grandmother could have withdrawn, and that would have been totally understandable. I think every one of us would have understood that. But she didn't. She used her grief and her pain to fight back and to say that we will have real police department reform in New York.